What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave Mo. I'm gonna do a brief overview on ACV auctions from your mobile device. I am using an Android for this. It is Sunday morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:15. They're running one car right now, a 2016 Kia Optima, as you can see. For those of you who don't know, this is exactly how the cars would be. You would just have a list of them going down, and it would be like a thumbnail, if you will, and then year, make, and model, drivetrain. So this one is going to be front wheel drive. If it was all wheel drive, it would say AWD. Four wheel drive would say 4WD. LX is the trim. So LX, EX, EXL, R spec, etc., etc. Then you come down, you have your mileage, it's 50,231 miles, and you have the location. It's going to be in Fort Pierce, Florida. Below that, you have how much time is left. A lot of you guys are going to notice that a lot of the ACV auctions as of late have been going for over an hour, about an hour and 20 minutes, 2 hour runtime. I can't say I'm a fan of it. I definitely like the 20-minute auction, but it is what it is. You know, I just set my alarm clock for the last 3 minutes of the auction, and I'll come back and check it out. And then last you see is 7,600. That is where the bid is at right now. And we'll get into it, and you'll see if there's any bids or no bids right now. From that number, it probably looks like it's no bids. So let's get into it here. Let's start from the top. Again, you can see 2016 Kia Optima. Then it says get bidding. You see the little hammer with the zero? That means no one has bid on it. Moving right over to the right. Now we're right above the picture of the car, okay? You're going to see an eyeball with the number 31. That means that 31 people, including us, have looked at this vehicle. Then you're going to see a camera, 1/64. That means we're looking at picture number 1 of 64. Okay, going right up. The current bid is 76, but we know no one's bid on it, so that's the floor. Then you have time remaining, 59 minutes. You could bid $100, or you could set a proxy. While we're here, let's look at that. So you could set your proxy for, let's just say 7,700. Well, here, let's just do, just in case I mess this up, 7,650. Then you're going to hit place proxy bid, and it's going to ask you, okay, so you see your bid amount. Is that correct? Do you want to do a one-time proxy, or do you want to do a persistent proxy? So persistent proxy, mine is set up for 10 days. If I was to click that, every time the car ran for the next 10 days, it's automatically going to put my proxy in at 7,650 without me having to wait around for this auction. Let's just say, for instance, they decided to run it. They don't sell it right now, and they run it at 3 o'clock in the morning. Well, the proxy bid will go in for me at 7,650. So let's cancel out of this because I don't want this car. We'll cancel out of that by hitting the X. The market report, that's kind of like MMR. You can hit it, and it'll show you when it's taking its time. But anyway, it's MMR, so it's going to show you what it is. And here you go. They're saying the post inspections, you're looking at spending $93.25. Gives you some stuff where these cars have sold from. You know, again, if you're familiar with MMR, you're going to be familiar with the market report. Moving right down, I really like this right here. You see a green and a blue light. Green light means that it's warranted. 10 days, 250 miles, okay? Now, if you choose to have it shipped, keep in mind that you still only have 10 days or 48 hours after it's been shipped, whichever goes longer. So let's just say the car gets to you on day 10, you now have an additional 48 hours with the vehicle. If the car got to you on day 9, you have 48 hours with the car. If it gets to you on day 8, well, 48 hours is 10 days. It doesn't matter. Day 7, you would have three days with the vehicle. Okay, so it's very important to know that. I hope I explained that correctly. If there was a yellow light right below these lights, you would see what is yellow. And now here's the tricky part with ACV. You could be bidding on a green light, and then it could say, internal engine noise or anything to do with the engine, right? So now that means that the engine is no longer covered by green light. So it was announced. So now the green light only holds to the transmission and frame, structural. If the green light, this is kind of crazy. So it could still be green light and yellow light and then say engine, something with the engine, and it could say transmission codes present, which now means that even though you're buying a green light car, you're really only going to be buying it because of the structural integrity. Because now they announced that it's got an engine problem, they announced that it's got a transmission problem, but yet there's still a green light. It's real slimy, sneaky shit there, okay? The blue light is going to mean, no title for 30 days. I can tell you right now, in the state of Florida, ACV, I don't even want to say ACV because it's not necessarily ACV. I think ACV is getting a bad rap here for titles because in actuality, it's the dealers. The Florida dealers suck when it comes to titles. I don't know if their mentality is, hey, if I hold on to this title for the full 30 days, I have less competition. Well, if that was the case and you wanted less competition, why the fuck did you sell the car if you think you could sell it? So ACV isn't really at fault. They're the front person for the vehicle, right? So I can tell you right now, we're taking well into 30 days. It's gotten to the point for my dealership now where the straight up and down, if we don't get the title by day 28, we're already finding out where the title is. We're putting in the 48-hour notice and we're returning the vehicle. It doesn't matter. We're not allowing the seller to sell the car from our lot. So if I'm buying a car from Miami and it costs $300 to have it shipped to me, I'm being reimbursed my $300. Then I'm telling ACV, nope, we're not going to let them sell it from our lot. They have to transport that car back to Miami. So that dealer now had to pay me $300 to get the car up, and they had to pay ACV $300 to get the car back down. So that cost them $600. Hopefully, my train of thought is that these dealers will get better with title management, because there's no sense in holding on to cars with no title. I know a lot of you guys out there are like, oh, well, I would just sell the car with no title. And believe me, when it was not my name on the license, I did the same thing. Because I was like, well, what's the worst that could happen to me? It's someone else's license. I'm just a rep. It doesn't matter. When the dealership's in your name, all this shit matters. All right? You go right down. It says ACV inspected, third-party objective condition report. It just means that ACV did it versus someone else who did it, okay? What you're going to notice here is it doesn't say from an independent dealer. So this means that this car is coming from a franchise dealership. If it wasn't coming from a franchise dealership, it would say, a trusted third-party dealer or independent dealer, okay? Now, I'm going to jump around here because this is very important to me, what we just went over. But from here, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the specs. I'm going to stop right here. These are my two addresses that I get cars shipped to, okay? One is the mechanic shop. One is the storage facility. So it's 204 and 214. Decent enough prices, but as you guys know, I'm using Central Dispatch, so I'm able to save probably on these runs about $75 each off of each one. Extended buyer, you can go up to 30 days. I think it's 10, 20, 30. I don't know too much about that. I've never done it. Right here, you have the audio motor profile. So you can actually press play and listen to the engine itself. The virtual lift, which basically how they do this is so interesting. They set up a cell phone to record video, and they have a triangle mirror. And what they do is they put it there, and they drive the car over the mirror, and the phone is recording the mirror, and the mirror is reflecting the undercarriage of the vehicle. It's actually pretty freaking cool the way to do it. But here is the VIN number. You can press and copy the VIN number, and you can take that VIN number to car-part.com if you needed parts. You can take that VIN number, and if you're paying for JD Power, if you're going to be financing, I would hope you're paying for JD Power. Put that VIN number in there and it'll spit out the loan amount that you could expect to receive. There's a lot of things you could do with that VIN number. Moving right along, it's going to give you the specs, the mileage, a lot of the stuff that you would have known from that front page if you looked. I never really spent that much time looking at it. But the main thing is that you can hear the engine, you can see what it's going to cost to ship, because all this comes into play, especially shipping, right? So now you have announcements. You got some body damage, paint meter readings. I don't know anything about paint meter readings. I mean, I know what they are. It doesn't matter to me. If the car looks good, it looks good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's the kind of guy I am. Oil level issue, low. It's low on oil. Got some OBD2 codes here. So you could take this code and put it in Google, and it'll tell you what the remedies are, how serious they could be, etc., etc. And then it just goes into the damage, like the seat damage, the dash, interior, backup camera. I mean, you guys can read along. You see what I'm saying. Again, here's the tire measurements. I never knew how to read these. I just is the tire look good to me? Great. I've yet in all my years of selling cars, someone say to me, hey, what's the depth of the tire? I don't know, a quarter head. I put a quarter in there and the head is buried. I put a penny in there and the head is buried. That's it. I don't know. Looks good to me. We got about 75% tread life on it. Yeah, the balding, you're probably going to want new tires sooner than later. And if that's the case, then you're going to need new tires. I myself have a network of people that I do business with, and I'll just go up to my tire guy and I'll say, hey, look, I need 2 tires. I need 4 tires. Ideally, they have 4 matching tires, and I'd be willing to do that and take the tires that, say the car needed 2 tires and 2 of them were still good. What I end up doing is saying, all right, look, if you have a matching set of 4, I'll do all 4, and I'll take the 2 good ones back with me. I'll put them in a lot. And a car that's, low-end dollar menu type shit that no one cares if the tires are matching. If they need a tire and I have that size, I'll just have that tire put on. Not a big deal. As you know, the blue light title is absent for 30 days. Seller notes, I don't necessarily know what seller notes is or are, because I've had them. It's kind of weird with ACV. Trade open lane, backlots, trade rev, whatever you want to call it. I think it's open lane now. It's pretty cool because they're able to drive the cars. So I don't necessarily know if they're equipped with transporter tags, dealer tags, or if they're just using the dealership's dealer tag. But in a lot of their listings, you'll see shifted fine up to 3rd gear, drove fine up to 60 miles per hour, right? It'll say something along those lines. Now, ACV has come out to my lot, and we've sold some cars through ACV, and I've offered the inspector, which is a horrible thing. And again, this doesn't fall on ACV. This falls on the inspector. We could be around the block in less than 7 minutes. And on that block, what that would show you is stop and go traffic with a few stoplights, and then about 2 or 3 miles of highway driving where we could get up to 70, 80 miles per hour. So when I have, a good car that I want to show, like, hey, look, you could buy with confidence. Let me take the inspector on a test drive with me. Let's go around what I consider around the block, right? I could get the car up to 80 miles per hour. You could see how it handles in stop and go traffic. And both times the inspector said no. So to me, that was kind of, they just want to get to the next car. And I get it, but they also get paid some sort of commission. So why would you not want to do that to get more money? Anyways, a bunch of photos. That's who's inspected by. And if you keep track of who's doing the inspections and you're buying a car and you see that the car isn't what it was supposed to be, take note of who did the inspection. Because the next time you're buying the car and you see that person, you might say, hey, this guy does really shitty inspections. Or, hey, this person does really, really good inspections. They're on the money, right? They didn't miss anything. You have this right here, which is the full condition report. So, and it just basically breaks it down to, yes, there's some body damage. The paint meetings, I guess they're low. And everything else, you can go through it on your own time. And that's it. One good thing with the Kias, what I would be doing right now is if I was interested in this vehicle, I would put the VIN number into the recall website and see if there is still a recall on this engine. So if, God forbid, you bought the engine and it's one of the GTI sludge motors, you know that you're going to get a new engine put in it. Other than that, that's it. If you want to see the pictures, you just click on it and it will show you a ton of pictures. You know what I mean? What was this thing? Had 64 photos. So, I mean, they do a good job. I'll tell you that right now. They certainly do a good job. One cool thing is you have this here, and on most cars in this area, towards the bottom, which this one, of course, doesn't have it unless I'm missing it, it'll tell you the paint code. Oh, there it is right there. So if you're looking right now to the top left, it'll say paint EB. So let's just say you were going to buy this car and you needed some touch-up paint. You could go to like Napa, or you could go to get Duplicolor if that's how you want to do it. And you can say, I need a paint code EB for a Kia. And they'll be able to mix you up as much paint as you need. One of the nice things I like about it. So I recently bought an Avalanche Sunburst Orange, very hard color to get, but I had the paint code, and it was actually in the glove box. It wasn't in this photo, but I was able to get the paint for it, and was going to be spraying the tailgate and bumper this week coming up. I don't know if that's a shadow or dirty. So it needs some work. You know what I mean? This thing is ripped over here, which you probably would have read. So as you're doing this, you're like, okay, well, look, I want to get this replaced, this armrest right here. I want to get the armrest replaced, and I want to get, the car needs a detail. So that's it. So in a nutshell, guys, that's ACV, from your mobile phone, from your mobile device. I guess you could be doing it from an iPad, or whatever type of tablet Android has. I don't know. But that's it, guys. So I hope you guys found it. So, and you can see now 40 people have looked at it. So 4 more people looked at it, I believe. I hope this helps you out, especially my subscribers that are new to ACV platform. I hope this gives you a better insight into what you're looking at with ACV. If not, and as always, any questions, anything whatsoever, feel free to reach out to me. And here's something that someone I spoke to recently. We were on the phone for about 2 hours. It was actually 2 individuals. And I know we've been trying to come up with some sort of membership plan. And I think what we're going to end up doing is selling time. And tell me if this would be interesting to you, so I'm a real car dealer, guys. Understand something. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a car dealer. I sell cars. I buy cars. I buy from the street. I run ads to buy cars from the street. I buy from junk guys. I buy from auctions. I buy everything. I buy from, I got people in franchise dealerships, sales individuals that'll call me up like, hey, we're going to offer, $5,000 on this '09 Camry with 130,000 miles on it. Are you interested? And if I go in there and I'm interested, I'll give them $500 for throwing it to me, and I'll hand $5,000 to them. The deal gets taken place off site, but at least the person with the car gets cash versus, just getting screwed over by the dealer. And I run ads for people that are going to trade in the cars, and I tell them, get the offer in writing, call me, and I'll pay you at least $500 over their asking price. So even if you put the money I gave you down, you still got $500 in your pocket to do with as you please. Do the big dealers like it? I don't think they give a fuck. I've never been told anything about it. Just go in there with cash, look at the car, and then it's a done deal. If that 10-minute phone call is worth $500, make it. If it's not, then don't. Some people do it, some people don't. But all this could be there for you, breaking down Central Dispatch, breaking down every auction that I've been to, breaking down auctions that I haven't because they really work the same. Working up deals with you, teaching you guys anything that you want to do. So it's going to be phone time, whether it's a Zoom call, a telephone call, whatever. And we're going to break it down. Maybe $50 gets you this many minutes, $100 gets you this many minutes, $150 gets you unlimited. You know what I mean? And you just figure out where you fall in, and then there'll be some other benefits other than just phone calls. Maybe you'll get to see behind the scenes of actual profit cars, like the profit margins I make on my cars. If you guys think something like that would be worth it, let me know, and I'll definitely get my guys on it, because I'm not that tech savvy when it comes to that. And they'll build. Well, it's not really build. It's through YouTube, so it's not really building. It's just the wording, right? And I'll be honest with you. I enjoy doing it. I could spend hours on the phone talking to a dealer that I like about making money, because like I always say, your wins are my wins, and I hope you feel the same way about my wins, because we are in this together, and the market is getting harder. But I will say this, a lot of these videos are coming out like, oh my God, look at all these dealers, they have so many cars on the lot, they can't be sold. Some of that is true, but a lot of it's not. So right now, if you've been in the dealership game for a long time, like myself, I got to pay taxes next month, okay? So because I have 1099s, I had to do my taxes by February 1st, okay? So that means I only have January to do it. So I need, right now, like most dealers, what we're doing is we're loading up our lots to lower our taxable income for the tax season. So if I owe 50 grand in taxes, and I know tax time is right around the corner, and I go out and I spend 50, 75, 100 grand in new vehicles, my lot is going to be filled to the gills, right? But when I go see my tax person, they're going to say, oh, okay, well, you have this much in inventory, this offsets this, blah, 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 blah. And again, this is not advice. This is just, how I handle it. And all that gets to get taken down from what I owe. And then I'll do the same thing next year, and the same thing next year, and the same thing next year. So while these people are telling you, oh yeah, look, it's great for YouTube, it's great clickbait. But behind the scenes, if you talk to a real car dealer, right now we're loading up for two reasons. One, tax time. We want to cash in on those checks that people are going to get. Number two, we want to lower the amount of money we owe the tax man. So how do we do that? We buy more inventory. When is the best time to buy more inventory? The end of the year. Why do I want to blow my load in the beginning of the year and then hold on to the car? I want to buy it as close to when I'm going to get rid of it. So I know if I buy it in December, I'm filling out my lot. Come January, I got 1099s. Federal law is that I got to get my taxes done by February 1st to get my 1099s out to all my 1099s. Then February and March, I know the general public's getting their checks cut, and they're going to come spend their money with me. It's that simple, guys. Yes, our car is slower to sell. Of course, it's fucking Christmas. It's the holidays. Overall, the new car market is taking a beating. There's no doubt about that. But in terms of used cars, and especially the sub $15,000 car, if you're going to be financing, if you're going to do dollar menu cars, the sub $5,000 cars, these cars are still selling. These cars are still selling. As a matter of fact, they're selling very well. I happen to have a website, a program, or whatever you want to call it, that tells me how many dealers in my area sold X amount of cars. And again, my numbers may be skewed because I'm in Tampa, Florida. And as you know, we've had an influx of people into the Tampa Bay area. So that could be it too. Without further ado, guys, let's get this thing out of here. God bless. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. No one's guaranteed tomorrow. I say that with a heavy heart because of my career. I see it every fucking day. People, please take my advice. If you watch the video this long, take my advice right now. Send a text message. Call the people you love. Give them a fucking hug and just let them know you love them, because I promise you, I know first fucking hand, no one is guaranteed tomorrow. With love, guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'm out.